What's up, YouTube? This is DodgeThis82, and we're back for more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Cause now it's time for the final class trial!
I thought we were already in the final class trial. That's fine. That's fine.
What's the meaning of the footage we saw? Is this another one of your practical jokes?
I mean, you're telling us to remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
If nobody can remember any...
No, that's wrong. Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
The other Toko, Genocide Jack. The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories aren't linked, right?
So you're gonna cut somebody so you can get that chick back? She needs blood, right?
I see. If their memories are separate, then even if one personality's forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have those memories.
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places with her? No! Absolutely not! That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity!
Toko, you're the only one we can rely on now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look at her. Like, look over your glasses and like lower your voice, like the tone of it. She'll do it. Watch, she's gonna do it.
Dun, da, da, da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer!
And just like that, she's back! She's always one sneeze, one hay fever away from just killing a lot of dudes.
Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
Telling you, Byakuya.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to have it answered immediately.
Oh my god.
Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet ya!
Nice to meet you too.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen!
Aye aye, Roger, you got it, Captain!
Well, does it look familiar?
I don't have all the details, but... Of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
Of course I do!
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Then why didn't you say something earlier? I only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know?
I feel like that's a lie.
Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Huh? What's the matter, Master? Do you really not remember the tragedy?
A tragedy?
Oh no! You seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember with a kiss.
Just answer the question! What happened out there?
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening. But it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
What?
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Cause it's all because of that event. What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
Is... now?
That explains why people signed up to go into this crazy place.
The world's been destroyed, get it?
Destroyed?
Explain yourself! Tell us everything you know!
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago. It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it. I guess you could say what happened was man-made. But it was more on the level of a worldwide natural disaster. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. And as a result, in basically no time flat! The world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on! There wasn't a single concrete description in there!
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Morose saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
Ah! I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die! To die! This is the true tragedy!
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel. Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right? The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. In other words, the world has ended. That's the important thing.
How can the world just end? It's the world!
Calm down. It's okay. There's no need to panic. Every living person will be dead in 100 years anyway, so the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous, I have another ridiculous story to tell you. It's the story of the Togami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
What? What did you say?
Uh-oh.
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
That sounds really good.
Hey! So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
Let me guess. Ah. Yeah, sure.
Correct! Well done, peasant!
But I didn't say anything yet.
I just got so bored waiting, I couldn't help it! Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innovative, don't you think?
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean. Do you think I might be sick?
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Togami name has perished.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us? The avatar of divine punishment? You must learn your place, peasant. You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
They couldn't possibly be gone! The Togami family is destined to guide the world!
There is no world anymore, remember? It got a full year ago.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
Huh? I don't make sense.
There's no way that happened a year ago. I mean, we only came to this school a few weeks ago. If some kind of world-ending event happened a year ago, then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in up till then?
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
Mistaken?
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently, right?
Huh? 2 years ago?
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
Wait, what? 2 years ago? What does it...
What the hell is this chick trying to say?
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it, but in the end, you can't deny the truth. And the truth is, everything is cause and effect. Deny that, and you may as well give yourself up to God. So, you must surely understand all the hints I've given you so far, right? What are the memories I took from you?
Come now, answer us. Answer with all your heart and soul.
How are we supposed to answer?
I just don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, just put your brain in hibernation mode, hero. It's for the best. Still, we have to answer somehow. If we don't, everything ends right here. The memories that were stolen from us. If what Junko says is true, if we first came here 2 years ago, but the rest of us only remembers getting here within the last few weeks or so. So the memories she took from us? Shiz, bro. Stop playing. It's all of these things. Look, the entire past? Maybe not, actually. Maybe that's not true. Our life at Hope's Peak. That it was their life at Hope's Peak, right? Like them being here for like 2 years or whatever. And then the tragedy. The crazy stuff that happened in the world with, you know, the Purge and World War Z, whatever the heck. She kept that away from us too. So which one is it? Our life at Hope's Peak. There we go.
I got it!
Yes! Go
If
with
we
your
accept
guts.
that what you say is true, then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Nope. No. I mean, no matter what anyone says,
Your locker, though. The lockers.
Another correct answer. Well done, peasant.
Thank you.
Seriously? This routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
I'm alright with it. I'd be fine if I lost 2 years.
That's right. You've already spent 2 full years here at Hope's Peak Academy. And that entire period of time is precisely what you've forgotten.
I don't remember the last 2 years of my life.
I don't remember my last month, so it's not a big deal.
That's not possible!
I want to think that too. I don't want to believe it. But that's nothing but our desire. I don't want to believe. I want it to be impossible. But if it's the truth, then we have to accept it. Notebook.
2 years worth of memories. I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single class!
No, that's wrong. Hiro, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey, why's my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could you take a look inside?
Sure, whatever you want. But I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
Wuzza, is something wrong?
It's kinda similar. No, even more than that. This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt! But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing! No! No way!
It looks like you actually did attend class here at Hope's Peak. But somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
I don't want to believe it either. But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hiro, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
After seeing all the evidence, do you have any choice but to acknowledge the truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery's solved, but it's like a funeral in here! Man, I've never been to a funeral! Yes!
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on? How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right?
You could literally just take 2 years of my high school life and just throw it in the toilet. You could burn it. It doesn't even need to exist. You could take away all 4 years of my high school life. Wouldn't make any difference.
And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all. And once you'd forgotten, you made the choice to subject yourselves to this killing game. Oh, and there's one other thing. To be even more precise, the memories you all lost were...
Actually, never mind. I'm bored. Explaining stuff is boring.
What?
We are bored of this world. Everyone always talks big, declaring all the great things they'll do. But then they always fizzle out. This world is just so desperately boring!
What are you talking about?
In a way, I'm jealous of all of you. To give yourself over so completely to such stimulating despair.
Yeah, so figure out the rest for yourselves! I'm sick of expositioning all this!
Figure out what?
Figure out where your memories come apart. That's at the heart of all of this.
Where our memories come apart. Is she talking about the moment where we must have lost our memories? I can only think of one time. Just after I set foot in the main hall for the first time. And that was at the entrance ceremony. For the first time. He didn't faint, he fell asleep. No. Uh-huh. When we got together, Monokuma must have done something to us all at once. Are you sure about that? I don't recall any sensation of having my memories interrupted at that point. I still remember the anxiety of hearing his announcement before the ceremony began. Now that you mention it, I don't remember that sensation of loss then either. But I'm sure I felt that sensation at some point. Ugh. That's when I fainted.
I got it!
Alright.
The moment I lost my memories. I can't think of any time other than that day. When I first came to the gates of this school and stepped foot in the main hall. When I passed out, I was overcome with a strange sensation.
Wow, you still have enough spirit to keep on talking, huh? So I don't know much about the details, but it seems like everyone remembers passing out, right? And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that? I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a classroom with my head on a desk. I assumed not much time had passed since I'd collapsed in the main hall.
But instead, 2 whole years had gone by.
The reason it felt so short was because Our memories of the time in between had been completely removed?
You got it, honey. 2 years of memories? Poof! Gone! Which means, of course...
When everyone met for the first time, it wasn't actually for the first time. Unaware of this fact, you took the time to introduce yourselves to each other, but
But by that point, we'd already spent 2 years together at the school. That's what those photos reveal, isn't it?
Yep, that's what they reveal. You were all such close friends. You spent 2 years together, and then you started killing each other. And it was all so you could escape into a world that's already been annihilated. What a terribly tragic tale. Even if you left now, there's nothing you could do to fix it.
You're the one who set things up to be like this!
I love you all so much.
What?
Once your school life here began, I thought about you constantly. It's only natural that I would fall in love.
So, since I love you guys so much, I'll tell you all about it! All about the idea we came up with as the ultimate despair! Our plan to bring despair to all mankind!
The ultimate despair. All mankind?
Let's go back in time 2 years, okay? Back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness.
Oh my gosh, I have to use the bathroom.
Oh boy, it was just the worst! Everyone was enjoying themselves so much! You were all having the time of your lives!
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peacefulness only made it through that first year. Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
What are you?
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history, and the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it. And now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage. You guys were the only survivors. The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
And then, something super neat happened! Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once!
I've been holding that in for hours.
So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter! That's right! It was transformed into a shelter! I said it twice!
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
The one who turned Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolated us here was the Prime Minister, the headmaster.
I got it! It could only have been the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us. To protect us from the despair and tragedy taking place outside. That's why he asked us to make that promise. To say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea. He had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair. I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off the windows, the doors, all the exits. Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
And then you forgot all about it and started about how you were trapped in here.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get to work. And thus began the killing game.
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
Only let us live? So we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Oh my gosh, really?
Because this was so much more than a simple high school deathmatch. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. A few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show them, which is why
Well, why don't you tell me?
What the mastermind did to show everyone in the outside world. That was... No! No! Oh, okay. Okay, I'm fine with that. Hi, Jack.
Now I understand.
Great!
You're talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I find it amazing that there's still television out in the world. Usually a post-apocalyptic crap like this, electricity is out.
To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about.
There's no way this is a TV show. No one is watching 4 hours of this.
The world watched as you fell into despair. and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease. Any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're dumb. I would have left y'all in there.
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them.
Expelled them?
Yeah. It's fancy talk for kill them.
I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
See? Told you.
So you just used us? To bring despair to everyone in the outside world?
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
Give and take? You're so full of...
Makoto!
And there's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students were dropping like flies. I mean, we built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my treasured classmates.
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
And that's the truth, which is what you wanted, right? So, does it make you feel utterly lost and hopeless?
No. It just makes me feel like wanting to take a nap. I need a burrito.
You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only to discover that the truth was utterly hopeless, how would you react? What would you do?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too! Like right now!
Truth. Full of despair. That's...
Not to mention, all those motives I talked about were totally meaningless. I mean, with the world having ended and all.
Meaningless? Then we've been murdering each other? For nothing?
Shoot. That's messed up.
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
We get it. We get it, okay? You're totally awesome, right? We get it already. So help us! I'll do anything! Just help me!
Help you what? Leave? You can't leave. Stay? You don't want to stay. What do you want help with? Your homework? Yeah, I guess your homework.
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful! We've never witnessed such a travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me.
I think he's talking to Makoto. She's to your right, Hiro. You're not even looking at her. Look at her. Look into her demented eyes and cry and with your snot and stuff and look in her eyes. All right, fine. He's busy.
All I want is despair, and there's no reason for it. And since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it. No argument, no understanding. What better definition of ultimate despair could there be?
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever you feel like, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself. So I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words, you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. Is that what you're saying? If so, what then?
Are you saying you won't accept the truth until you can go outside and see for yourself? Well, you better not. You go out into that world and you're all goners for sure. Trust me, I'm not lying about any of this.
Why would we trust you? You killed your own sister. Really? What credibility do you have?
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you.
Life doesn't work that way. Ask married men. That's not how arguments work.
For the sake of everyone you've killed.
Huh? Everyone I've killed? What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them!
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
And that's all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
Say what you want about hope, but we're all creatures of instinct, right? Despair comes naturally.
Hell yes! That's funny!
No! This isn't just some game to us. It's murder! Plain and simple! You stole our memories, invented reasons for us to do it! You pushed us all into a corner! It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh?
I actually agree with her. Being pushed into a corner, that's not gonna get you out of the electric chair. Like, that's, you still killed people. Well, not him, I don't think. But other people killed people. She didn't do it, she manipulated them. But she didn't actually kill anyone.
But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
Yeah, I'm running out of hard drive space.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did ya? Oh, and also, since this will be the last vote, I decided to change the rules.
Of course.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full of despair. I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished.
Whoa. Whoa, really?
If even one of you votes to punish Hope, well then...
Why wouldn't everyone want to kill you? I don't... What? Okay, nope, that's fine. Moving on.
I'll consider that a win for me, and punish everyone on the side of Hope.
Even if it's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry. I won't be voting, of course.
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this!
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win, to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
What?
You mean, we just...
We'd have to just live here?
Yep.
She's saying she'll let us live.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me. And make your way to the outside world.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists, where you'd likely be dead within a day.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a sec! I just got hit with an inspiration bomb! Dying of old age is boring as right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all! So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment.
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down. Makoto, you're up.
Me?
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble. I hate you!
So let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
Sacrifice me? But that's...
What? Has your resolve softened? Have you lost confidence? Are you afraid of being punished? Don't you have faith in your friends?
No, that's not it.
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
Guys?
It's so beautiful. Your lovely faces, eroded by despair, have come together as one.
Besides, Kyoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
What?
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right? That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, you guys, for Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Y'all have a great week. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, guys.